Hello all, welcome back to our channel. So students, in this video we will discuss unit number 1 explanation video of GST. So hope whatever the thing I am explaining in this video will be help out to you all to understand the answers, as many of you are getting difficulties to understand GST subject. This video will be useful to you all. So before watching the video, you don't skip the video and watch till the end, then only you will easily understand whole unit number 1. By watching this video you can easily score 10 marks, that is one long and minimum one short. If not, 2 shots you will get. Okay, so let's get into the video ma. So students, the first important question from unit number 1 is explain various types of GST returns. Okay, so what is mean by GST returns? What are the various returns we are having under GST? So this is about the answer. So GST returns is a recording of summary, monthly, quarterly or annual returns, which includes the details of the inward and outward supply that are filled by taxable individual registered under GST. For example, whoever is registered under GST is liable to pay the GST amount to the government. So that type of inward and outward, inward means purchases, outward means sales. So that why that type of inward and outward details will be written in the GST. GST amount will be paid to the government in monthly basis, quarterly basis. Quarterly is nothing but 3 months, or half yearly means nothing but 6 months, or annual. For example, ఒక కంపెనీ కానీ ఒక బిజినెస్ కానీ కస్టమర్స్ దగ్గర నుంచి జిఎస్టీ ఛార్జ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఆ జిఎస్టీ అమౌంట్ అనేది గవర్నమెంట్కి కట్టాలి. సో అట్లాంటి కట్టే గవర్నమెంట్ ఇన్వర్డ్ అంటే పర్చేజ్ జిఎస్టీయా, సేల్స్ జిఎస్టీయా, అండ్ ఎలా బేసిస్లో కొంతమంది కంపెనీస్ని బట్టి మంత్లీ బేసిస్ దే నీడ్ టు పే, ఆర్ సమ్ కంపెనీస్ విల్ హ్యావ్ క్వార్టర్లీ బేసిస్ and remaining companies will have annual basis. So that type of things is called as GST returns. So here you need to write section number, form, description, frequency, due date. Okay, the first you will have GSTR1. GSTR means returns, goods and service tax returns under 1. Here ఈ GSTR1 లో ఎవరు వస్తున్నారంటే వాట్ ఎవర్ ద అవుట్వర్డ్ సప్లైస్ ఆఫ్ ఎ గూడ్స్ అండ్ సర్వీస్ ఇన్ ద ఫర్మ్. Outward is nothing but sales. If you are doing sales, you will get outward GST returns whatever you have done. మీరు సేల్స్ చేసినప్పుడు కస్టమర్స్ దగ్గర నుంచి ఏదైతే జిఎస్టీ కలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటున్నారో దట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ జిఎస్టీ రిటర్న్స్ కమ్స్ ఆన్ ద GSTR1. ఇట్ ఈస్ బేస్డ్ ఓన్లీ ఆన్ మంత్లీ బేసిస్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీ మంత్ 10th లోపల యూ నీడ్ టు పే ఇట్ టు ది గవర్నమెంట్. Got it? And GSTR2. So actually GSTR2 is not there at present in the GST, but what is that GSTR2 means whatever the purchase returns. Okay, sorry, whatever the purchases you have done, మీరు పర్చేస్ చేసినప్పుడు మీ అమౌంట్ జిఎస్టీ అనేది మీరు కడతారు, ట్యాక్స్ అనేది పే చేస్తారు. సో దట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ పర్చేస్ పేమెంట్స్ విల్ కమ్ అండర్ GSTR2. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ మంత్లీ బేసిస్. ఎవ్రీ మంత్ 15th లోపల కట్టేయాలి. ఓకేనా? సో థర్డ్ GSTR3. సో ఇక్కడ నేను ఇన్ మై నోట్స్ ఐ హ్యావ్ రిటర్న్ దిస్ ఇన్ అ సీక్వెన్స్ ఆర్డర్. ఇట్ విల్ బీ బెటర్ యూ టు రిమెంబర్. So that's why you can prefer this note. If you are having materials, whatever you feel comfortable, you can prepare that notes. Okay, so this notes is already uploaded in Telegram group ma. GSTR3 what it will come means whatever the inward as well as outward. Okay, it have the details of the inward as well as the outward supply of goods and services means whichever is GSTR1 and GSTR2. Whatever the details you will have in the purchase and sales, that will have in both in GSTR3. So this is also based on at a company ki purchase chestadi oka month, సేల్స్ కూడా చేస్తుంది. పర్చేస్ చేసినప్పుడు వీళ్ళు ట్యాక్స్ కడతారు, సేల్స్ చేసినప్పుడు వీళ్ళు ట్యాక్స్ కలెక్ట్ చేస్తారు. సో దట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్వర్డ్ అండ్ అవుట్వర్డ్ థింగ్స్ విల్ కమ్ అండర్ GSTR1. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో పేడ్ ఆన్ ద మంత్లీ బేసిస్. ఎవ్రీ మంత్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫాలోయింగ్ 20th date you need to pay it to the government. Okay, the fourth one you are having GSTR4. This GSTR4 will have only for the composite dealer. Composite dealer should register their GST under GSTR4. Who is a composite dealer? whose income is less than 1.5 crores annually. Okay, for example, A అనే వ్యక్తి 10 crores అనేది సంపాదిస్తున్నాడు. He is earning a income of 10 crores per year, and B is also earning a 1 crore rupee per year. Okay, so GST, what does GST do means it will give the compensation to the B because his income is earning less compared to the A, no? So that type of whose income is less than 1.5 crore annually, that type of dealer should register the GST under composite scheme. What does this scheme do mean? It will give additional benefits to the composite dealer in the tax reduction, everything. So that type of composite dealers returns has been mentioned in the GSTR 4, and this returns is made annually and 30th of the succeeding financial year. ఓకే, సో ఇది యాన్యువల్ బేసిస్లో ఉంటుంది. సో ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇయర్ ఏదైతే లాస్ట్ డేట్ ఉంటుందో అది 30th లోపల మనం కట్టేయాల్సింది ఉంటుంది. నెక్స్ట్ GSTR 5 యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ whoever is NRIs, okay, non-resident of India. If a person is a NRI and having some transaction, for example America nunchi India lo ఉన్న products, they can buy it. So that type of things, what they will do, that type of persons will register under GSTR 5. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు అమెరికాలో ఉన్నారు. ఇప్పుడు చాలామంది అమెరికాలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఇండియాలో నుంచి పికిల్స్ ఇట్లాంటివన్నీ ఆర్డర్ చేసుకుంటారు కదా. సో దట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ రిటర్న్స్ విల్ బీ మెన్షన్డ్ ఇన్ GSTR 5. ఇట్ ఈస్ అ మంత్లీ బేసిస్. Every month of the 20th he need to pay the transactions. Okay, next you will have GSTR 6 ma. It is a monthly basis for input service distributor. It is also a monthly of 13th. GSTR 7 you will have government authorities deducting TDS. Whoever is a person is having a government authority, whether is an employee of a public sector, he need to register under GSTR 7 because he will also pay tax, right? So government employees అనేది ట్యాక్స్ అనేది పే చేస్తారు సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ పనిచేసే వాళ్ళకి. ఓకేనా? సో దట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్, దట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ పర్సన్ షుడ్ రిజిస్టర్ ఇన్ 7 GSTR 7. It is also a monthly basis. Every month of the 10th you need to pay it. Okay, and the last one is GSTR 8. GSTR 8, what does it do means? Notice to a registered e-commerce operator platforms, whatever we have, for example Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, this type of e-commerce platforms should register their GST in GSTR 8. So because it is a e-commerce platforms, no, so that is the type of things you need to pay in a monthly basis. Every month of the 10th you need to pay everything. And the last one is GSTR 3A. Okay, so this is a person who, what it will do means, if for example monthly basis lo kattalsina amount after finishing the date also if he is not paying means he will get a notice under GSTR 3A. So 15 days from the date of the dealer is defaulted. So 15 days before 15 days of the things, if he is not paying means he will get fined. So everything. So this is the GSTR answer. I hope you have got clarity. This is one of the important questions from unit number 1. And the second important question is registration of GST. Registration, cancellation and revocation of GST. This time we can expect in question paper compulsory. Okay, so GST has been one of the most significant tax reforms in country. Why? Because all the indirect tax systems are converted into tax. ముందుగా ఏముంటుండే, GST ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ అవ్వక ముందు డిఫరెంట్ టాక్సేషన్స్ ఉంటుండే మనకి. లైక్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ VAT, octroi, okay, service tax, this type of excise duty, this type of tax you will have. But after implementing the GST, what they have said, one nation, one tax. It is a final, for example, ఈ స్కేల్ తయారు చేయడానికి 100 రూపీస్ అయింది మొత్తం ఖర్చు. Production, distribution, selling, advertisement, everything. To do this scale, you have costed it for 1000, for example. సో ఈ ఫైనల్ ప్రోడక్ట్ మీద GST వేయడంనే GST అని అంటాం. ముందుగా ఎలా ఉంటుండే, ప్రొడక్షన్కి సపరేట్ ట్యాక్స్ వీ విల్ పే, and administration ki separate tax you will pay, advertisement ki separate tax we will pay. So after implementing the GST, all indirect taxes are converted into direct GST. Okay, so next, GST was introduced in India on July 1st 2017. You need to remember this date, you need to mention this date in your answer. Okay, compulsory. GST registration, how you need a registration process will India means you need to visit the portal, that is www.gst.government.in. After getting into that portal, you will need to register now. There you will find a register now option, you need to click on that. After clicking on that, you will have taxpayer tabs. So taxpayer tab anedi meeku untundi. After that, you need to register and fill the mentioned details. They will ask your name, email, everything it will ask. And after that, you will get OTP to your email or mobile number. This is the fourth step. Same exactly like this you need to write it. Okay, and you will have shown temporary reference number. TRN is temporary reference number. You need to make note of it. And after that, again you need to mention it, go into the portal and you need to mention this TRN number. Then you will get after another OTP, and after that you will get ARN, that is application reference number, will be sent to your registered mobile number or an email. So in 10 steps you need to write the registration under GST in India. So what are the advantages of doing registration means? It abolishes means it will remove all different taxes, rates, exemptions, etc. It removes dual taxation system. Double time taxation system will remove by GST, right? It reduces the production cost. Okay, it increases the development of a company, development of a country. If everybody is paying the tax to the government means government is collecting tax from the people, and whatever the tax he is collecting from the people will use to develop the countries, like roads, metro, technology, everything. How government will get money? Through tax only, no? So that type of thing. It delivers absolute surety and clarity of the tax. Every customer will get to know for what purpose you are doing tax. See, simple thing, before 2017 we are not that much aware about the tax system, but after converting into the GST, after the implementation of GST, we are getting to know for what purpose we are doing CGST or state GST, whatever it might be. Okay, so it develops the acceptance throughout the economy, because after implementing the GST, every citizen is accepting to that thing, right? And it implements uniformity in taxes, means every tax it will inform uniformity. For example, before that, for this scale, whether it is a long scale or short scale, we need to pay 10 rupees as GST. But after implementing GST, what it is doing, by looking at this final product, for long scale you need to pay 10 rupees, for short scale you can pay only 5 rupees. Like that uniformity we are getting. So that is also an example for us, right? So this is the registration. Next important question is cancellation and revocation of GST registration. Okay, cancellation of GST registration. So what is it, cancellation? It means the taxable person who is not needed a GST registered person. For example, I have registered under GST. After certain time, I am winding up the business. Does I still want to pay the tax to the government? No. That time what I need to do? I need to cancel my registration under GST. Got it? It is no need for him to pay or collect GST after the winding up. In case a taxable person voluntarily registered under GST, he is liable for cancellation of registration only after completing 1 year of registration. So in registration, if he is temporary registered under GST means minimum he need to maintain 1 year business, whether he is doing or not, he need to pay the GST. And his application for cancellation of registration will be approved by the officer after checking the all clearance of the tax and penalty to pay the taxable person. So ఒకవేళ GST cancellation చేసుకుంటున్నామంటే whatever the pending GST I need to pay, they will check everything and they will update it. Okay, if I am not paying any GST amount, they will ask me to do pay that amount, and later only they will cancel my registration. So here the introduction. Following points depicts the process for cancellation of registration. What are the following points we are having for the cancellation of registration? Means the first one is, for cancellation of registration, a GST taxable person should submit the application. He should be submit the application form, that is called REG 14, that is registration 14, where he need to mention all the details of his business, like for example closing stock, shifting of business, everything. He need to mention all the details in registration 14 form, and later the acknowledgement was being reviewed by the officer. After reviewing, he will send GST registration 15 form for the cancellation of period of 7 days. Within 7 days he will send a registration 15 form. He will ask what are the reasons for your cancellation of registration, he will ask. And after within 7 days after receiving that, after obtaining the reasons for cancellation of registration, the cancellation of will order verified and approved by the officer, and within 30 days under register 16, and your thing will be cancelled. Registration 15, after saying all your details, he will again check the officer, and if it is agreed by the officer in the form of registration 16, he will cancel your GST registration. So this is the cancellation of the registration answer. And revocation or renovation of GST registration. Revocation of cancellation of GST means reversing the decision to cancel the registration. Means he will give certain time to cancel our opinion. So that type of things we will call it as a revocation or renovation of GST registration. What are the points we are having, ma? The first one is, if an officer cancel the registration, the taxable person is liable for applying revocation. After applying the cancellation, if the officer rejects our form, means we will have an scope of doing a registration 17 form, where we need to appeal for the cancellation again. For he will send registration 3 provides additional details of an officer if required within 3 working days. He will again send registration 3 form, where you need to do your more details in that, clear details anedi ivvali. So the taxable person has to reply by providing in the form of registration form within 7 days. Within 7 days, whoever is the taxable person is having, he need to respond to that message, okay? And the officer revocates the, if he is agreed by the officer, he will cancel your registration under registration 18. If in case your data whichever provided to the officer, if it is not unsatisfactory, if it is unsatisfactory, then he will showcase a notice form of registration 19. So this answer I already have reduced so much answer, so whatever the answer I am showing, that is enough. And the last important question is GST origin and importance concept. What does GST stands for? GST stands for goods and service tax. Okay, it is established in India on July 1st, 2017. All the indirect taxes are subsumed under GST. Before the implementation of GST, we will have all indirect taxes like service tax, software tax, value added tax, like this. But after implementing, it simplified indirect taxes system, and it said that one nation, one tax. Experts believe that GST will have a huge positive impact on business and change the way the economy is. So this is the introduction part, because you need to write the same introduction this only, okay? And in whatever the major collections you are having means direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax is tax levied directly on a taxpayer. Whoever is the person who is liable to pay tax, that is called direct tax. For example, income tax, gift tax. Income tax anedi me property. If your property is whatever you are having, income tax is a personal tax. ఒకవేళ మీకు ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ వచ్చిందంటే మీరే కట్టాలి, కానీ మీ మమ్మీయో మీ చెల్లెనో మీ అన్ననో కట్టరు కదా. సేమ్ అట్లనే wealth tax, gift tax, this type of taxes will comes under direct tax. What does indirect tax? Indirect tax is a government led. For example, we are going to buy a biscuit packet from a shop, you are paying the GST amount including tax amount to the shopkeeper but not directly to the government. So that type of things will call it as an indirect tax. In indirect tax you will have value added tax, service tax, octroi tax, excise duty, etc. What is the origin of GST? In 1954 it was originated. Actually it was originated in the 18th century by a German economist. So he tried to approve the GST on a final price of a product, and later in 1954, first time it was imposed on a large basis in the abroad countries. Okay, so 1954 date you need to remember, and 18th century by German economists GST has been included. But origin of GST in India means the first origin of GST in India was in 2003, okay, when the Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, so he is the Prime Minister of India in 2003. That time he introduced this scheme in the parliament, but due to some political issues, it was postponed, and later in 2016 in Rajya Sabha the bill was passed for the GST, and it was introduced in India on July 1st 2017 by the Prime Minister was Narendra Modi and the President was Pranab Mukherjee. So you need to mention all these names in the answer. You need to highlight the answers. Okay, India is the 166th country to implement the GST. This is also important thing. What are the important concepts you are having, ma? Taxable event, supply, service, this type of taxable events you are having. You need to do is, and this is important for short, that is types of GST. You will have total 4 types of GST, that is CGST for central, SGST for state, UTGST for union, IGST for integrated. Integrated is nothing but CGST, SGST is also known as integrated services. Okay, so CGST is also known as central goods and service tax. It is lays down central things. Okay, if person is from Delhi, if the buyer is from Delhi and seller is from Hyderabad and it is having a different states, then it is called CGST. Okay, so central will get received tax and state also will get received tax. UTGST is also known as Union Territory Goods and Services Tax. It is basically applied on the union territories. Okay, IGST is also known as Integrated Goods and Service Tax. It is laid on the person, state and union. Just now I have said no. That's the thing. And need for GST. Why we need GST? Just now we have discussed what are the advantages we are having, that you can write it here. Benefits of GST. For traders, it will do reduction of multiple of taxes. Simple tax regime means one nation, one tax only you will have. So we will have thing, and mitigation of double taxation. Double taxation will be reduced by the implementation of GST, and development of the common nation market. Country will also get developed. And what are the benefits to the customer? By the GST, customers will also have a benefit. What are the benefits? Simple tax system we will have. Increase employment opportunities. Okay, reduction in prices. When GST is calculated only on the final product, then the production cost will be less, then the product cost also will be less. So what are the taxes subsumed under GST? This is also important, ma. For central, it was taxes, central excise duty, central sales tax, central surcharge and cess, and for cess, all the indirect tax. For example, service tax, VAT, purchase, octroi, luxury. This type of taxes are subsumed under GST, means converted under GST. Okay, so this is all about the unit 1 students. Whoever is watched the full video, they can score 8 marks long question and 2 marks short question. Total 10 marks you can score with unit number 1. So sometimes they may ask 2 short questions, which it meant 12 marks weightage by watching this video. So this questions only will come. So damn sure questions is origin and importance of GST, as well as cancellation, registration and revocation of GST. These 2 questions is pakka question. Out of these 2 questions, 1 question will be in your question paper. Okay students, so this is all about the video. If you're having any doubts, you can comment down in the comment section. So, and let me know in the comment section how was my explanation. Okay, whether you want explanation in Telugu or English, let me know in the comment section. So whether basically I speak English in understandable way. I will not use that much technical words. So it is same like a normal English I can speak. Whether it is understandable or not, let me know. So this is all about the video, students. If you like this video, then do like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel and share with all your friends. And this note PDF I have already shared in Telegram group, so please install Telegram group, and link was given in the description box. If you're having any doubts in the notes, you can ask me in the comment section. And please don't again and again please don't ask about the notes PDF. Okay, all the very best for your examination as well as the preparation, students. Don't get tensed. Exam paper will be easy, and start your preparation. All the very best. See you all in the next video. Bye bye, students.